Hello to the lovely hedgehogs and to the squirrels, and welcome back to today's English learning. Now, thank you for joining me yesterday for our live lesson where we learned all about how we can put our plan, which is our story text map, onto our non-chronological report actual work. So before we get started today, I want us to just have a memory of the fact that it is only one more day. We've got today and tomorrow, and then we are finished for our half term. You are nearly there. You have done so well this term, and this is the very last push of our literacy because tomorrow is really nice and fun. Okay, so one more day, really find that motivation. So let's have a look at what we did yesterday. We had a look at this non-chronological report, and we made this section of our work together, and then you went and did it and submitted it. So you have done your title, your introduction, and hopefully a picture. Now today we are going to be focusing on this blue section here, okay, which is our two subheading parts. There is also this section here which is a fun fact part, okay. This section down here you do not need to do unless you really want to. So let's have a look at our checklist of all of our success criteria of key features of non-chronological texts. Now all of the ones that are green are the ones that you should have already done yesterday. So let's have a look. Have you got your title? Yes, you have, and you've remembered to capitalize all of the words that are nouns, verbs or adjectives. Have you done subtitles yet? No, we haven't, because they're going to be today's lesson. Did you do a picture? Yes, you did. You either drew one or you found one on the internet to put on. Did you write some statements? Yes, you did. And you even joined those statements or those clauses with your conjunction and. So well done if you managed to do all of those things. And we're going to move on today to learn about how to do our next part, our blue section. Now today's video is going to be nice and short so that you can crack on and finish your non-chronological report. So what I want you to do for your subheading, I've just taken this little section here and I've snipped it, made it a bit bigger. I've zoomed in on my blue section here. Okay, so first of all, we need to write our subheading, because remember, if I flick back, look, we need to do our subheading. Now it's called a subtitle on this list, but they are exactly the same thing. So our subtitle, where this green box is here, is going to be our question. So the question that I used in my plan was, did Neil Armstrong leave anything on the moon? Now I will have made sure that when I write my question, I use my capital letter, my finger spaces, my question mark, and I make sure that it makes sense. Now exactly the same when we write our question. I've only put this green section here so you can see where I want you to write it. I want your question to go on this line and your answer or your statements to go on this line underneath, okay? If it's a bit big, your question, and you need to go down to the next line, that's okay too, okay? It doesn't matter too much as long as you start up here for your question, okay? So this is where your first question and statement is going to go, your question and then your answer. And this is where your second one is going to go, okay? And this one is a bit smaller. So what I've done is so that you can maybe use both of these lines for your question. What I don't want you to do is squeeze it all in here and there not be enough room on the end, because that will look very messy, okay? I'm not going to go through how to write our question, but if you do need some extra help with writing your questions, please just give me a message and I'm happy to video call you. Now here, for your question sentences, please make sure that you use your success criteria to make sure that your question is actually a question. Make sure you do not forget your question mark at the end of it. Now once you have finished writing this section here and this section here, and you've put your question in and you've answered it with your statement down here, you might notice that there is an extra box here, and this says fun fact. Fun fact, and it's got an exclamation mark because it is shocking or exciting. Fun fact. And this is a space where you might like to write or draw a fun fact about Neil Armstrong. So maybe it was like Amelie's fact that there are still Neil Armstrong's footprints on the moon. Maybe it's something else, or maybe you think, do you know what, I've done enough writing here and here, and I don't want to have to do more writing here by the time I've finished. So maybe if you decide that you've done enough writing and you don't want to do that, instead maybe you would like to put a picture here, maybe a photograph you find on the internet, or maybe you could draw a picture and stick it over this section here. Okay, no need to worry about this if you don't want to, but if you do want to add in a fun fact, then please go for it. Okay, likewise, grown-ups, if you would like to challenge your child and not do just 2 subheadings, if they would like to do the third one, this one is on the bottom of your sheet. If your child is not completing this one, feel free to just chop it off or fold it over, no problem at all. This is quite a big piece of writing for our Year 1 children, and it's the first piece of writing like this, so we don't want it to be overwhelming at all. Okay, so we've finished our writing now. Imagine I've written my question and my statements in answer, and I've put a picture over my fun fact section. I'm just going to check that I've done everything and I've completed all of the key features for my work. Does it have a title? Yes, I did that on the first lesson. It's got a picture. I did that on the first lesson on Wednesday. I know that it's got statements, but there's definitely even more statements now because I've answered my questions with statements, and I used the conjunction in our Wednesday's lesson. So let's have a look at the ones that we've missed. Subtitle. Did I use a subtitle or a subheading? Yes, I did, and I even used one that was a question. Excellent. So I have done a subtitle and a question because they are the same thing. So your checklist should be really full of ticks. And that is for today's lesson. I can't wait to read your finishing pieces. Yesterday's work was so fantastic. I am so thrilled. You should be so proud. And I can't wait to see your work. Have a lovely, lovely time, and I will see you very soon. Bye.